Day 14 of training camp. A little bit better than yesterday, but there was still some hiccups. And we'll talk about that. What is up, Finn fans? Day 14 of training camp. Again, close off to the media. 24th and the 25th are the only days. Not close off to the media, close off to the public. The 24th and the 25th, the joint practice with the Eagles, is the only day left open up to the media. But the Miami Dolphins did practice today. I have some notes. I have some on-the-field stuff. Unfortunately, again, no video. That's because you guys weren't allowed there, so they're not really pushing any video out. But like usual, we'll start with Mike McDaniel, get to the notes, get to on-the-field stuff. And then Tua did a presser afterwards. I'll kind of talk about some of the things he had to say. But to start with Mike McDaniel, apparently Waddle wasn't on the field yesterday. I talked about that. And he has an undisclosed injury. He could have practiced from what Mike McDaniel has said, but he's trying to protect him. He doesn't want to push him. You know, if it was like during the season, he would have played, he would have practiced, all that stuff. But there's no point in pushing him in anything. So it's, sometimes you have to protect them from themselves, is what he said. He said yesterday was an example of conflict emotions as a head coach. He's pumped about a good red zone period, but situational periods, Miami turned the ball over too much. Great learning situation for Tua. Yeah, you have the defense who killed it, and you want to be ecstatic about the defense killing it. But then you also have the offense who did horrible. You have Tua throwing 3 interceptions. You have Skylar Thompson throwing 2 interceptions. You have Teddy Bridgewater throwing an interception. You want more continuity. You want more unity. Have the struggles, but don't have the interceptions. But then again, on the defense, good job having them interceptions. He says, if you're a return enthusiast, he says this is an example for the Dolphins after one game, nothing is settled. So again, they don't know who the return specialist is going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if they keep Lynn Bowden on the roster and he's the return specialist. So he says, since I've arrived, anytime I have applied pressure for improvement, 100% of the time there has been improvement regardless of the area in question. And the improvement for me, and again, we'll talk about it, is the offense. It's got to improve. He says, I feel very confident we'll be ready to play week 1 against the New England Patriots. I hope and pray. And then he talks about, because there's different styles of coaching, right? And the yelling. Somebody asked him, because he seems very calm. He says, I don't major in it. I don't enjoy yelling, but you have to do what you have to do to make them understand the urgency of the moment. If you pick and choose those moments, the state you don't like to be in, it's purposeful, which makes 1,000%. If you're consistently yelling at players and then all of a sudden there's a moment where you need to drive home a point and you're yelling, it's just, oh, there he goes yelling again. But like with Mike McDaniel, he's a very calm, cool, collective type of person. If he starts to really get ramped up, obviously this is very important. It's a very critical situation. So see where he's coming from with that. And then finally, he talks about who's going to play Saturday. He says he's still working through it, how he will decide playing time for veterans in second preseason game. But again, this is the last time he's going to talk to the media until after the game on Saturday. And he hasn't addressed whether Tua will play on Saturday. I will say this, right? He knows who's playing on Saturday. I don't know why he's not saying it. It's no competitive advantage. It's preseason, so there's no competitive advantage over the Raiders. Unless he genuinely doesn't know, which then in my mind, they're probably like Waddle. Waddle might not play on Saturday just because he's got a nagging injury. There's no point in pushing him to play Saturday. He'll, worst case, he'll play against the Eagles. If not, who cares? But you can name some guys. Like Tua should play on Saturday. He should play a series. Give him a series Saturday. Let him take some snaps from Connor Williams. And I'll talk, Tua does talk about that, but he knows. But I'm thinking he's probably talking about like Waddle or Agba or Howard, like guys who don't need to play the preseason. Teron Armstead might be who he's talking about. On the field notes, you got some. Durham Smythe is rocking the orange jersey today. Unfortunately, Jake Paul was there. I don't like Jake Paul. I never liked Jake Paul. Some of you might like him, the younger guys that are subscribed. Hey, but I don't like Jake Paul. I don't like his attitude. I don't like his personality. I don't like who he is. But Eric Spoelstra was there, which was pretty cool. Another coach there talking to the coach. But the fact that Jake Paul was there, and then he ran around and tried to catch a pass from two, and he dropped it because he sucks. I hated that Jake Paul was there. It really bothered me. Waddle, Scarlett, Little, Connor, Lovett missed practice today. Eric Rowe wasn't there for undisclosed reasons, and Mostert and Armstead had a rest day today. And that's all the notes. And now we get to on the field stuff. Holland had a day today. Javon Holland is probably going to be wearing the orange jersey tomorrow. The man had a day today. He had 2 interceptions off of Tua Tagovailoa. I will talk about that because people are already, losing their minds over the fact that Tua threw 5 interceptions in 2 days. And I will talk about that after I talk about on the field stuff and before we get to Tua's presser. But good on Javon Holland. He had 2 picks. One of them was returned for a 50-yard touchdown. The other was in the end zone against Gesicki. He broke up a huge bomb to Tyreek Hill from Tua. Fantastic. The 2 picks were forced passes, one to Preston and one to Durham Smythe. That just might, again, that's what you do in camp. You force some passes you probably would have in the regular game. That's why a lot of times I would love to see Tua be a little bit more aggressive. I'd love to see him push the ball down the field. It's sometimes you're just going to throw these interceptions. Look at Fitzpatrick. I understand he's going to throw the stupid interceptions, but I prefer the aggressiveness. Those are the same people right now that are blowing out of proportion Tua throwing 5 interceptions in 2 days of practice because he's forcing passes to his wide receivers and tight ends because he's trying things during camp that he would never try during the game. Those are the same people who praised Fitzpatrick, who get on Tua for not being more aggressive during the regular season. Those are the same people who are blowing this out of proportion that Tua threw 5 interceptions in 2 practices. Am I happy Tua threw 5 interceptions in 2 practices? No. Would I have preferred them to be touchdowns and not interceptions, and Tua have not thrown interception at all through 14 days of camp? Of course. But to ask for that and to think that's going to happen is unrealistic. I can raffle off good quarterbacks, bad quarterbacks, elite quarterbacks, Hall of Famers, future who have thrown multiple interceptions on multiple days of practice. That is the point of training camp. There is no point in blowing this out of proportion. I don't take his good plays and blow them out of proportion. I say, those are nice. Continue doing them. Good on you. And their bad plays, I wish you wouldn't do that. Try to work on it. Don't do it again. There's no point in taking things that happen in training camp and preseason and blowing them out of proportion. Like there's now a Skylar Thompson thing where people think Skylar Thompson should be the starter and Skylar Thompson is the future. And I think Skylar Thompson did fantastic in his preseason game. I think Skylar Thompson is a very good 7th round pick, and I think he has a bright future. But if you're going to sit here and tell me that you think after him playing against 2nd, 3rd, and 4th stringers that he is ready to be an NFL starter and he should take over for Tua, you are misguided in your knowledge of football, and you have a hatred for Tua that you need to take a step back and look at. And I said the same thing. Go back. I'll pop in a clip of when Brock Osweiler was going off in Brocktober. Before the Texans game, I said I can't wait for Tannehill to come back because the only reason Brock Osweiler is going off is because of yak yards. It's because he's just doing the bare minimum and the receivers are doing the rest. I said that. And then after the Texans game, everyone was done with Brock Osweiler and we're back on the Tannehill train. I think Skylar has a bright future, and I'm so excited that he's a Miami Dolphin. Pump the brakes on preseason and training camp. For the love of God, pump the brakes. Am I worried about certain things? Yes. And I'm going to make a video talking about areas of this team that worry me going into the 2022 season. I already have it planned to do it every year. But can we pump the brakes on freaking out and overpraising? And just take what we get and wait and see. I'm done with my spiel. I had a spiel last video. I got a spiel this video. But Tua was up and down, right? He found Tyreek Hill on 3 nice big chunk gain plays. He found Chase Edmonds Sherfield for 2 more big chunk gain plays. He found Lynn Bowden for a nice long touchdown. After, a big yard after catch. He had 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Not a great day by Tua, but not as bad as yesterday, in my opinion. He needs to do better. It's plain and simple. I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, they were forcing plays and because they were showing blitzes, because this was a very blitz-heavy day, I'll talk about that. Oh, blah, blah, blah. No, he needs to do better. He needs to, do better in practice. But I'm also not going to sit here and go, oh, he sucks. Oh, my God, he's the worst. We need to put Teddy Bridgewater in. He's so much better. We're going to lose every... That's not how training camp or preseason works. Cedric Wilson Jr. caught a pass from Skylar laying on the ground, which I would have loved to see that. Run game was a little bit better. Michelle, Edmonds, Gaskin, and Ahmed all got to the second level. It's nice seeing that. Wilkins and Agba showing their quickness, showing their length, showing their power, consistently getting through the offensive line. Love to see that. And again, they did not play on last Saturday. A lot of the reason the run defense wasn't as good was the entire backup of the D-line was in there. Noah breaks up a for sure touchdown to Hill. Would have been a 70-yard touchdown from Tua to Hill. Nice on Noah, right? But again, when he faces another team like the Bucs, he disappears. Bowden had a 10-yard dart from Tua that he took the rest of the way for a 50-yard touchdown. Bowden also had a nice big gain pass that was underthrown from Skylar. After a bad day, Tua was sharp for this is what I heard from people that were there. After a bad day, Tua was sharp for most of the day besides the 2 interceptions. So again, up and down. He had his 2 interceptions, but other than that, he was very sharp with his passes, making nice, crisp underneath routes, throwing it where the receiver should be. Good day. Cut the 2 interceptions out. It'd be a great day. A lot of blitzing today is from what I'm hearing. They were working on blitz packages. Phillips and Riley had nice sacks today. Emmanuel Agba batted down a ball from Tua. Hands down one of the best defensive ends in the NFL at batting the ball down. Wilkins and Andrew Van Ginkel were stuffing runs all day today. An even day from Teddy Bridgewater is what I'm hearing. He had good throws, but he also had he had bad throws, overthrown deep passes to Redwine, which almost was an interception, and he was off on a couple more. So again, another up and down day from Teddy as well. And then Skylar Thompson, he bounced back from his 2 interception day yesterday, but he started his practice. He was a little rough, but then he settled in and he started doing his thing. He started really lighting the offense up, which is good to see. Again, that's good on the defense that they're getting these quarterbacks rattled, because it's not just Tua, it's Teddy and Skylar. It's all 3 of them. It's good on the defense, and that is also going to teach these quarterbacks to play against this good defense. And the last thing is Connor Williams had a few more high snaps that Tua had to grab up by his face and over his head. That worries me, again, but I'm not in there. I'm not a coach. I don't hear what they're saying, so all I could do is just sit back and buckle in. But that was practice. Again, like I said in my little spiel, I'm not going to overreact. I'm not going to flip out. Am I like a little worried? Yeah, sure. I would like him not to throw 5 interceptions. I would like for Skylar Thompson not to throw 2. I'd like for Teddy to be more accurate, have a more even day, not throw his interception. But it's training camp. That's what it's there for. You do it, you learn from it, you move on. It's not like those 5 interceptions cost us 2 games. You work on it. You get better. We have about a month until the season starts. Work on it. I'm not stressing out over training camp and preseason. I'm also not getting overly excited and, taking things and blowing them out of proportion with training camp. Because if you remember last year, Tua had a fantastic game against the Chicago Bears in preseason. And a lot of us were like, that's the Tua we want to see. Then the season started. And he was, he did his good and he did his bad. So again, let's wait and see till September 11th against the New England Patriots. And then the Ravens. Let's see how he starts to chain these games together. Let's see how he plays when the lights are on, when everything's live. Let's see there. This, watching. Hopefully he gets better and everything, but I'm not taking this information and blowing it up out of proportion. And then Tua met with the media. He says everyone got better yesterday. Defense brought it yesterday. Today was really good, back and forth. He says we've only shown glimpses of plays we had in our playbook. He said he wanted to play last week. Hopefully the first offense gets some plays on Saturday. And he said, man, I always want to play. I wanted to be out there last week. Yeah, he's a competitor. He always wants to play. Again, when he got injured against the Buffalo game, he was trying to come back out and play, which wouldn't have been smart because Jesse Davis is a turnstile at right tackle. Probably would have completely broke his ribs because he probably would have took another shot. But he's a competitor. He had that surgery on his ankle. He played 5-6 days later against LSU. That's just who he is. He says you want to get real live game reps, but you do want to be smart when it comes to the preseason. And he says on the Javon Holland interception is tremendous. And he said he's getting us ready. Which again, yeah, you're playing against this defense where okay, I can't fit it here in this with the safety 4 yards away. I need for him to be 6 and try to fit it in earlier. That's what training camp's all about. He throws the interception. He's like, all right, well, Javon was about 4 yards away when I was trying to get it to Preston. Now I know I need to either get it there sooner or put more velocity on that throw because he can get over quicker. And these are things that they work on. So again, last time I'll say it. Do I wish they didn't throw 5 interceptions? In the past 2 days, the quarterbacks threw 11 interceptions. 5 from Tua, 5 from the other guys. Yeah. Do I wish they didn't? That's not 11, Doug. That's 10. But you know what I'm saying. Quarterbacks in a whole struggled the past 2 days. Today was better. Tua was the only one who threw interceptions. Skylar almost threw an interception that was dropped. Same thing with Teddy Bridgewater. It was on an even day, but then they got back into the groove. We'll see how tomorrow goes. If the trend is going, then tomorrow it should be a good day on the quarterbacks and the offense. We'll see. But that's what I got for you today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Again, talking about training camp. And then Friday, we're going to preview the Raiders game. Again, there's not much to preview, but things I'm going to look for. And hopefully the starters play so I can get a good look at Tua at live action. But on that, like usual, stay classy. My friends up.